Chapter 17 Case File SIO9 Chapter Shaman Sick Mom. The DSI squad now gathered in a Thai barbecue restaurant. Tong Tai brought his 5-year-old brother to join the party. His name was Tum Time, and he was so adorable that everyone swarmed, causing Tong Tai to overly shelter him. Whoever reached out to squeeze his brother's cheek, Tong Tai would brush their hands off. His overprotective demeanor amused everyone. Never thought that a hush hippie dude like Tong Tai would have such an aspect. As the men were having their good time, the TV broadcast news of White Podge, surrounded by reporters grilling him with a question about stealing his student's artwork and claiming it as his own, causing his face to redden from shame. Moreover, this topic spread fire on social media. Many people conspired to ban his works and required the Department of Cultural Promotion to revoke his honorable prize. This could be considered his instant karma. What goes around comes around, Tarn murmured at the sight of the news on the TV screen. Don't keep being witty, or you can't keep up with Kim, said Paya, using his chopsticks to place a meat slice on Tarn's plate. Kim lifted his gaze to look and twisted his mouth. Jerk, it's me who can't keep up with him. Since you guys kept picking up meat slices to one another, how on earth could I keep up with you? Kaya laughed and laid chopsticks on the table after pampering Tarn with meat slices piled on his plate. Tarn, in the meantime, kept calm and munched them down, oblivious to the surroundings. All the meat slices that Kaya put on his plate, he had to eat them all up. The more he ate them, his heart fluffed more than an omelette sizzling on a boiling pan. Yai cast a glance at Tarn's lightsome face, alternately with a flirtatious one from Paya on the side. He noticed the two all day. His personal receiver rang, alarmed that their relationship wasn't just ordinary. Paya could catch the sight of Yai looking his way. I have something to share with everyone. What's that? Cam asked with his mouth chewing on the meat. Tarn and I are in a relationship, said Paya. His voice was crisp and firm. Huh? Everyone shrieked in unison, switching their look at Tarn and Paya back and forth, stunned. Only Tam Time continued shoving meat into his mouth without a care. Tarn snatched a glass of water to chug, glaring at Paya with frustration. Is it the right time to do so? When? Yai questioned in monotone. Cam blinked rapidly and pinched his own arm. It wasn't a dream. Are you for real? Or is this April the 1st? Tong Tai fitted his gaze from the phone and answered Cam. Nope. Is that true? Singh reluctantly asked. Ajima flashed a wide beam. That's what I thought. So everybody pivoted to the female captain questioningly. You knew it, Captain? Cam asked on behalf of everyone else. Captain Ajima cracked up a laugh. I surely did. They have a vibe that got my radar ping since day one. Mm, well, she accidentally exposed herself. Tong Tai furrowed his brows. Radar? A vibe? Cam questioned. Can't you all see? They both have great chemistry. Captain Najima told them. Are you actually that kind of girl, Captain? Yai's voice hinted at the faith lost in his question. Ajima gave a side-eyed squint. What kind of that kind of girl? Having finished her words, she turned to speak with Paya and Tarn, her tone sweet. It's good that you fall for each other. Forget about these colleagues around here. If they despise you or anything, I'll cut down their demerit score. until they have no day off left. Wait. We're just surprised. It doesn't mean that we despise them. Captain had gone too far. Kem just didn't expect Tarn and Paya to be in a relationship. It was like they seemed to have something questionable between each other. But Paya firmly said that he had his crush. So Kem was confused a bit. You have someone you like, don't you? Yeah, I questioned with a harsh tone. If Paya just wanted to have a fling with his brother, yeah, I wouldn't let him. Times have changed. So have people, bro. I was lucky that I knew I liked him fast, so we agreed on being exclusive. Don't want to wait no more. Paya didn't want to let Tarn slip away from his life like he used to. Tarn looked at Paya with eyes opened wide, ears reddened, and totally flabbergasted. All he could do was to face down onto the plate, so low that he almost ate under the table. Paya, you jerk. How could you blurt out such a thing in the restaurant without any precaution? Kem noticed Tarn was so embarrassed that he couldn't look at anyone, so Kem made fun of him. The unblemished face of the policeman flushed so deeply red that everyone broke out a smile. Zip it, Kem! Congratulations, Mr. Paya, Mr. Tarn. Singh told them with a smile, feeling glad that his friends finally ended up with one another, even though he didn't understand much how two men could fall for each other. Yeah, even though we're quite surprised, we're happy for you anyway. Tom Tai raised his glass and drank to them. Actually, we wish you would since the training, so it says that you two are really in love. They all could see it, just left it unsaid. Right, EI? Cam asked Kiai. Kiai still held onto his silence, locking his gaze on Paya. Noticing how Yai looked at Paya, Ajima moved to other topics due to the fear that the atmosphere would turn cold. However, Tarn didn't catch it since he was so embarrassed as Paya declared their status to everyone in the middle of the restaurant. He carried on eating his meat quietly, trying to ease his pounding heart. Don't be too loud. That's embarrassing. Until they went part ways to their home, Yai saw Tarn was going to board the car with Paya. He halted. Want to sleep over at my place tonight, Tarn? Mon said she missed you. Hmm? Can I? Tarn asked confusingly. Usually, Yai didn't invite him over since Yai was afraid that he would interrupt their intimate moment. He used to sleep at my place often. It should be fine. Yai wanted to pump him for the answer about his relationship with Aya. Tarn looked at Yai with uneasiness. Today, he planned to sleep with Paya at his grandmother's house. I have said to go with Paya earlier, bro. So, you guys are serious, right? Yes, we are, PI. If you're worried that I'm going to break Tarn's heart, please don't be. I'm not going to do that, said Paya in a firm tone. Those orbs were resolute, looking back at Kiai with an unwavering stare. Tarn looked at Yai and switched to Paya alternately. Tarn unveiled a beam, then punched Yai's arm softly. What are you worried about, bro? How could Paya and I not be serious? Even though he was slightly dazed and uncertain of why Paya responded to his secretive feelings toward Paya, right when he looked Paya in the eyes, all those doubts disappeared. Paya and I are serious about this for sure. Both, but you both statuses are so much different. Your father is a business magnate. Will he let you both see each other? Even though Tarn's mother's family was wealthy, that wasn't as wealthy as Paya's. Yai feared they would suffer hardship, and Tarn would be like his lover. Don't worry about that, bro. I can handle this. Paya's voice was neutral. Even his own father couldn't hold him back. I give you my word of honor. I will take good care of Tarn for sure. Yai shifted his gaze to Tarn, who was bobbing his head to reaffirm. Yai wrinkled his brows and tightly wrapped his arm around Tarn's shoulder. You've already promised me to take good care of Tarn for me. Tarn is not like the others. You'd know it already. Uh, can you stop making a scene like Paya was proposing a daughter to her parents? I'm not a girl, bro. Tarn wriggled himself out inside. Listening to the conversation between Yai and Paya, Tarn couldn't help feeling weird. He was a man. He could take care of himself. Yai chuckled in his throat, meeting Paya in the eyes, and nodded. I'll count on you then. Paya unfurled a thin smile. Yes. Tarn tensed his brows. What the hell are these people? They treated him like he was a kiddo. After agreeing to let him sleep over with Paya at Paya's grandmother's house, Yai quit holding them back. He just reiterated to Tarn to take good care of himself. Yai, and you have been together since you were young? Paya asked while veering the car inside his house. Yeah, I have known Yai for a very long time. Since I was in grade 5, 4 or 5, I guess. Looks like he cares so much about you. Tarn nodded. He and I have been together for ages. P.I. sees me as his little brother, and I see him as my big brother. After my father died, I got P.I. to support me. Hmm. He was so supportive, as if Tarn was his son. Aya thought before cutting the engine and led Tarn to leave through the garden where the wooden cottage was situated. Your grandma lives alone? She lives with her close maid. What should I act in front of her? Tarn questioned, clearly nervous. Even though he had met Paya's grandmother before, that was long ago. Now he had grown up, he should know how to behave himself or beware not to dissatisfy her. Paya curled up a smile, stretched out to sway Tarn's head, then drew back. Be yourself. My grandma wouldn't mind it. She would actually be happy to see Tarn. Tarn explored this white wooden house with interest. It was in a pleasantly applied Thai-style architecture. The decoration was simple and neat. On the wall, near the shiny lacquered wooden bench, was a lotus picture that Paya had bought hanging on it. There you are! The soothing, raspy voice erupted. Tarn turned in that direction and showed his greeting gesture. He looked at Paya's grandmother, comparing it to her picture in his memory. She didn't look older to any extent. Paya supported her to sit on the wooden bench. Tarn greeted her. Sawadee. May Buddha bless you. Is he the one you told me, Paya? Yes. Tarn, come sit with me. Tarn turned to Paya, who was sitting on another bench. Paya nodded, so Tarn walked over to sit next to her on her bench. Let me see you closely. I'm old. I can see your face clearly, how you look like when you grow up. The elderly lady said in a tender tone as she stroked Tarn's face. Still adorable as always. Tarn smiled in response, looking back at Grandma with those dewy eyes. The grandma lowered her gaze to Tarn's wrist and saw the braced lace that Paya had given to Tarn since his childhood. She smiled, and once she took a glance at Paya's neck, she saw the prarad necklace that Tarn had given her grandson. A thin smile curled up her lips as well. Paya told me everything about how you both felt to one another. Right. It must be destiny indeed. She lowered her hands to Tarn's shoulders, squeezed them softly, and drew back. Tarn shot a glare at Paya. Why Paya didn't tell him about what he had decided to do. Paya shrugged in response. Tarn exhaled a sigh. I, Grandma, what about us? Alright, He didn't know how to behave anymore. Don't worry. I'm not going to complain or anything. If two people are meant to be, no matter how far apart they are, destiny will bring them back together anyway. Once she wrapped up her remarks, she reached into her bag and brought something out for Tarn. It was an old golden ring carved with love I own eternally for you. Grandma, I can't take it. The old lady shook her head while thrusting the ring inside Tarn's palm. Please, accept this ring. It's a family hand-me-down. Please take it. Consider it as an engagement gift. Yes? Tarn's eyes spread wide on the face that burned aflame. He swooped back to Paya, who flashed a grin back at him, unsure how to react. The sight of Tarn's demeanor brought a laugh from the old lady. He was so adorable, just like when he was young. Casting a glance at the two youngsters, the lady felt pleased with what she saw. The others may call her crazy or too old to think straight, but she believed that Tarn was right for Paya more than any other girls she had met. After giving him her ring, Tarn and Paya's grandmother talked over casual things. It didn't take long for Tarn and Grandma to form a close rapport until Paya felt like a third wheel. Tarn was pleased that he could steal the favorite grandson's position from Paya. After a long conversation until their throats thickened, Grandma seemed exhausted. Tarn and Paya escorted her to the bedroom. Once they left, Paya brought Tarn to look over the balcony to his bedroom wing. Staring at it like you won't take the ring? What the hell are you talking about? Tarn flitted his gaze to Paya and snapped back before putting the ring in a coin purse and zipping it properly. Paya laughed, walked up to Tarn, and rested his chin on the slope of Tarn's shoulder. If you don't reject it, you agree to my engagement proposal, right? Tarn's heart jumped. His face blushed. When the elder gave you things, you must take it. Paya withdrew from Tarn's good lengthy shoulder and held Tarn to himself. Now that you took the ring, you must say yes to my engagement proposal. Tarn pushed Paya away, got up from the bed, walked to the window, and looked out to the garden view of Paya's house. Engagement proposal, my ass. We've just been in a relationship, haven't we? But we've known each other for a long time, Tarn. Paya headed to sit on the wooden chair. Tarn whirled back to look at Paya, leaning over the window rim. That was just a short while when we were young. Paya fixed his gaze on Tarn's face. The picture of Tarn overlapped with a vision of a woman, a man, a girl, a boy, a dog, and his best friend Bert. Tarn was everything, who stood by his side all along. Tarn observed Paya in perplexity. Those eloquent, piercing eyes laden the sense of guilt and relief, yet loving and longing. Or have you met me earlier than that? Tarn squinted his eyes, asking. Paya didn't answer, but made his way to Tarn instead. If you want to know, you must force the answer from my mouth by yours. Paya teased with a raspy voice. His eyes sparkled as he looked at Tarn. Tarn leaned his face in, so close that their noses almost touched. Game on, asshole! Ceased his speaking and was about to back away. Paya grasped Tarn's nape, slightly tilted it upward, and pressed those hot lips onto Tarn's to brush the lick, venture the exploration inside his mouth cavity, pushed and pulled that slender tongue, and bit on his lower lip of the man in his embrace softly. At the same time, he was still wrapped inside Paya's arms before Paya withdrew his mouth from him in a languid manner. Arn was stunned, looking at Paya with disgruntlement. His face flushed from being pushed to the brink. where he lost his manly spirit. You're freaking beat to the Tarn took his revenge. He approached to clasp his kiss on those lips and inserted his tongue to drag and draw the other person's rough tongue like a hunger inside Paya's breath-mint cave of mouth. He lifted his arms to enfold Paya's neck and pressed Paya against him while Paya hugged the small of his back, leading the slim figure to the bed and flipping him under. They both binged on a long series of kisses before eventually separating, leaving each other breathless. Tarn unfurled a wide beam and glanced at Paya. Beat to the punch. Paya laughed and used his prominent nose to caress Tarn's until the other person cracked up. Tarn draped his arms around Paya's neck and pressed Paya to position under him instead. I've already used my mouth to force the answer. Now, spill your guts. Tarn knew that Paya had hidden something, and it was definitely about him. He could sense it. Paya didn't answer it right away. He only looped around Tarn's neck and pulled Tarn to lay face onto his chest. Tarn tried to prop himself up at first, but then he changed his mind to lie still, listening to Paya's heartbeat. It felt nice to know that Paya's heart was beating as fast as his own. You and me have known each other since the past life. Tarn furrowed his brows as he tilted his head to cock up his chin on the solid chest. He squinted his eyes at the speaker as if to find fault. Are you trying to be funny? Haya was casually stroking Tarn's hair, paused, and softly slapped the head of someone in his embrace. Serious. Tarn nudged, lifted both hands to place on Paya's torso, and lay his chin on it. Then tell me, how's the past between me and you? You loved me so much. You did everything for me. Absurd. Serious. Tarn wriggled, trying to lever upright, but Paya tightened his embrace. But I never did anything for you. And only hurt you, like what Charlatan said. Once I realized I love you, I'd already lost you, Tarn. Until he was aware that Tarn meant the world to him, he had already let Tarn slip away forever. Tarn flinched. Paya was lying, looking at him with tears brimming in his eyes. Those orbs were wavering with fear, causing Tarn's heart to ache along with him at the sight of it. Tarn encircled Paya's neck with his arms, then nestled his face onto that perfectly proportioned chest and pondered around Paya's words in silence. The reason Paya asked him to be his lover and declared it in front of everyone about their relationship was actually this. No. Did Paya really see his own past? Tarn thought and felt lost. He didn't know if he should trust these words, even though his heart already did. I lost you in my past lives, but in this life, I'll never let you go again. That husky voice articulated in a firm tone as he held Tarn even more closely. Tarn let out a soft laugh. How could you lose me? I'm right here. Tarn rolled himself to lie on Paya's side. That steely arm still held onto his waist, while he held onto Paya's just the same. I'm not going anywhere. Tarn sounded brittle as he spoke. His sight lingered on Paya for so long. Without realizing it, two pairs of lips touched and smooched an embarrassing sound. Yet the sweetness of the kiss was richer than the first two. Paya parted from that kiss wistfully. He was out of breath while eyeing up at Tarn. Then he leaned forward to kiss that light-skinned forehead and averted to behold that refined face. Tarn's hazy eyes were giving him a sultry look, causing his heart to quiver. You're making it hard to control myself. Kaya's voice deepened. Just outside. Tarn's voice fuzzed. pulling Paya to kiss softly on that hot, distinctive lip curve. Paya murmured in disgruntlement down his throat, yet he yielded to Tarn's wish. He knew that Tarn wasn't ready. We men could understand it so well, and he was happy to wait until Tarn was ready, or either way, he wouldn't wait and used some trick. After a long snuggling, Tarn and Paya showered and went to bed. Today, Tarn had to sleep at his condo. At first, Paya said he would follow to sleep over, but Tarn wouldn't let him because he wanted some privacy. It was a little too much to stick together every single day. The work today at the DSI office was nothing much. They only had to do a docket and the summary case report to their commander. In the evening, Tarn returned to his condo. He was taking off only one shoe, and the doorbell chimed in. He rotated toward the door and opened it. "Timur!" Cholatorn flashed a smile to Tarn. "You have an appointment today. Did you forget?" Tarn lifted his hand to scratch on the nape, concealing his embarrassment. "I'm sorry. Please get in." Tarn opened the door to let Dr. Cholatorn in. He removed another shoe and escorted his guest to the living room. "Can we do the therapy session inside my room?" Cholatorn nodded. "Of course. I expect that too." Dr. Chalatorn was Tarn's personal psychiatrist. Tarn needed to see the doctor for mental therapy sessions monthly to determine whether he was mentally stable and to monitor other symptoms. "I didn't see you come back to your room for days," said Chalatorn as he descended onto the couch. Tarn walked over to the kitchen counter and poured a glass of water for Chalatorn. "Yes, I slept over at Pius' house." "Hmm?" "Well," Tarn was reluctant. His face blushed. "Paya and I agreed to be in a relationship, Timur," Tarn said coyly. Chalatorn curved up a smile that his eyes didn't follow. He placed the glass of water on the table and then patted the couch. "I'm glad to hear that. But now it's time for you to help me with my work." Yes." Tarn knew his duty. He walked over, lied on the long couch, and closed his eyes. Chalatorn stared at Tarn. Those glints of eyes turned into a blood-red one. He brought out a gemstone from his pocket, mumbled something, and then put it onto Tarn's forehead without Tarn realizing it because he was under the spell. "Let's start now," Chalatorn softly said. So, it doesn't matter if Tarn and Paya were in a relationship. He didn't care. No matter what happened, Tarn needed to get back to him. The love between Tarn and Paya was blooming well. After seeing each other for 3 months, Paya took Tarn to introduce himself to Darawan, the girl Paya had a crush on and almost married. Tarn was worried at first, but once he got to know her, he found that she was very nice and friendly. Moreover, Tarn felt surprisingly compatible with her. After talking to each other only a few sentences, they both became good friends. The work inside the PSI office seemed to be settled. Everyone started to communicate and formed a good rapport between departments. They worked so efficiently as a team that they gained people's admiration and became an agency of dignity. "Are you sure that you will tell them today?" Today, Tarn was taken by Paya to Paya's home. In fact, Paya took him there once a week, but he rarely met Paya's parents and siblings. "Yes," Paya answered placidly as he led Tarn to his house. Tarn looked at the sight of Paya's face in anxiety. He could sense a bad sign. Before dinner, Paya brought Tarn to introduce himself to Payu and Parani in the living room. "Here, Bibaya comes!" Parani cried out with a smile that her eyes squinted and looped around Paya's arm. "You work so hard, even though we barely meet in the same house." Parani grumbled. Paya swayed his sister's head and pivoted to pull Tarn's arm to introduce himself to everyone. This is Darren, my boyfriend. Hayu, lifting the water bottle to drink, choked on the water. What? I knew that already. Dad told me, but I didn't have a chance to get to know you. I'm sorry about that. During the high season of time, the clients at my shop are much more than usual. Verony offered a hand to shake. I'm Verony, Pipaya's sister. Even though she was a little bit sad and regretful that her friend, Darawan, didn't end up with her brother, she didn't despise Tarn in the slightest. Alright, my name is Vasa, or you can call me Tarn. Tarn shook his hand with Paranis and withdrew it. Parani pouted. No need to be too formal. Please, make yourself at home since a family is just around the corner. Parani winked at her brother while Paya thumbed up to her. Tarn watched these two siblings and could only flash an awkward smile. They both deserved to be siblings. Oh, your name is Tarn? Tarn like the river? Parani asked in curiosity. Yes. Eh? So, the book that Pipaya asked me to Paya used his palm to clamp over his sister's mouth and turned to smile at Tarn, trying to appear normal. You can talk to Pipayu while I'm away. Be right back. Finished his sentence, Paya dragged his sister away among Tarn's and Payu's baffled sights. Paya dragged Parani to talk by the swimming pool. Nee, don't talk about the book I asked you to destroy. The book he borrowed from Tarn. He had switched it by asking Parani to toss the old one and give a new one back to Tarn. Why? Parani felt skeptical about why her brother must have been so alarmed that he soaked up with sweat like that. Tarn would get mad at me. Parani crossed her arms. She squinted, looking at her brother. Paya feigned a cough. Well, that's settled. Not a word to Tarn. Understood? Don't tell Tarn that he altered the book by throwing his Beemor's book, bought a new one on his own, gave it back to Tarn instead, and stuck his name onto it just like the former one, too, afraid that Tarn would find the suspicion. Alright, but I need a bargain. Tarani stuck out her hand toward Paya. Paya raised his eyebrow and returned her hand gesture. Deal. Deal! Hmm. Raking in stuff from my two brothers made me feel so good, Parani thought. Once Paya and Parani returned to the living room, they saw Tarn and Payu talking on a spree, so they joined in. Paya, are you going to tell Dad about Tarn today? Paya sounded strained in his question. Tarn could immediately guess it wasn't the right time to reveal their relationship between Paya and him. Yes, I think today everyone is home. I think to know it at the same time would be good. Paya insisted out of his stubbornness. Paya, if it's not the right time, don't do it yet. He knew that Paya was trying to introduce him to everyone, but if he did it now, Tarn feared that Paya's parents couldn't accept it. Paya looked Tarn in the eye. Those round, shiny orbs were gleaming like they were making a plea. Paya exhaled a sigh. Okay, to your request. Parani and Payo exchanged their gaze in confusion. They had never seen Paya behave like this with anyone before. He was always stubborn as a mule and always egoistical. egoistical. But when Tarn just looked into his eyes and said a few words, Paya instantly became docile, signifying that Paya put Tarn at the top of his list. Once Tarn could convince Paya, everybody changed their topics. And after having a small talk a little longer, Tarn's phone rang. He excused himself to pick up the call. The call from his home? Yes? Tarn! The high-pitched, dry voice called out his name tremblingly. Tarn furrowed his brows. Grandma, what's the matter? Is there anything wrong that happened to Mom? Recently, he often dreamed of Mom. However, he didn't contact her, as he kept his focus on recent cases. He was so busy that he hardly slept and didn't keep in touch with Mom like he used to. Your mom's health is really bad right now. I'm afraid that Cal couldn't make it after this month. Tarn's ears buzzed. His mind went quite blank. Grandma's shaky voice and the words she said caused Tarn to quickly pull himself together and respond to the other end of the line. I'll fly to Chiang Mai tonight. Please, send someone to pick me up. Yes! Beep! Hung up from the call. Tarn returned to the living room with the face discolored. He then told Paya to give him a ride to his condo because he would pack up his belongings and fly to Chiang Mai tonight. Paya didn't ask anything more. Just seeing his love wear a face as if he was on the brink of tears, Paya hastily drove him to the condo. Now that he realized Tarn's mother was ill, his worry multiplied. So Paya also saw him off at the airport. If you need my help or have any trouble, contact me. Tarn gave a slight nod. Hmm, I'm sorry I didn't have dinner with your parents. Tarn's voice delivered his vulnerability. His expression was wrong, causing the viewer, like Paya, to have a heart stung at the sight. Paya pulled Tarn to his embrace and consoled the other person, uncaring he might be watching. If they wanted to look, so be it. I'm by your side, Paya said while pecking a kiss on Tarn's temple. Tarn flinched at those warm lips as he didn't think Paya would do it to him in the middle of the airport. Tarn quickly pushed Paya away. You're so freaking. He was about to complain, but the boarding call erupted. Thus, the curse turned to the parting word. Gotta go. Paya nodded in acknowledgement and kept watching Tarn until he disappeared from his sight and left. End of chapter 17.